What's up, everyone? Today I'll be making a video on how to set your PowerPoints for your nature healer. Um, Nature healing is probably a little more fun for me. I'm a little biased towards it because it's such a really good class to basically heal with. I switched Quran at one point to nature, and I really had a lot of fun with it because a really great thing about it is that you really get to control the health of the group. Which may sound a little funny. You must be like, well, what do you mean? Shouldn't you always be controlling the health of the group? Well, yeah, that's true. However, with sorcery and electricity, they're a little harder to kind of control whether the whole group gets full health right away or not. Because sometimes they kind of get limited to certain things, such as sorcery, you need to be inside the circle to really get a lot of the heals from it. And electricity, they require your health to dip down to a certain point before it goes, like, really shoots off and kind of like fills you back up, which could be a little dangerous at times. However, with nature, you could kind of keep everybody healed, basically full health, whether they're down to 10% health, 90% health, 50% health. So it's really great to use if you're a really good nature healer. You're really you get to really take advantage of what it has to offer. So with the PowerPoints, what I like to do is I start in the iconic powers, which I probably didn't do in my sorcery loadout, which I should have, is get Miracle Worker and Empathic Healing. What it gives you is 10% critical healing magnitude and 3% critical healing chance, which are amazing, phenomenal to get these. You always, no matter what power you are, you got to get these. You always got to come here for um, certain innates here, whether it's DPS for these two, controller gets these two, and then you could get these for the tank. Um, so pretty much that's what you do. I grab those two first. I start in the plant tree. Of course, you have to get Vine Lash first, so that's where we start. I get Savage Growth, Blossom, and let's see. Blossom, and then I go down to Bloom, and then I get Cross Pollination. A lot of people like to use Harvest. Harvest releases pheromones that promote heal over time, of course. But I don't like it. I don't like the animation. It's just not. I don't know. I just don't like it. It also may encase things at times, so it's not really good to have. Very rarely it will happen, but if you do, you don't want it to happen really. Then you go down into shape shifting. Um, what I really love about nature is that they have these little powers where they get to transform into certain things. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Roar because you have to get Roar, and then you get Metabolism, another great healing move. And Regeneration here is their supercharge. That's their kind of saving grace. It restores health and power over time for you and your allies. So it's a really good way to explode all your heals and kind of just save the group, no matter what's going on when just shit just goes wrong. So that's what you're gonna be using. So from here you get the pterodactyl form, um, and then you move down to the insect form. And I grab Hive Mind. Hive Mind is amazing. It's one of the best moves, especially for all the healers out there. I think Electricity has one. Don't quote me on it. You could correct me if I don't know, but I think they may have one where they raised their restoration, but Hive Mind is just amazing. It dramatically increases might and restoration for yourself and group members. Now, the best part about this is if you're a DPS, you can use this to boost your might. It's a buff for the group, and it's a buff for yourself. If you're a DPS, it will boost restoration for your healers that are in the group if it hits them, but it will always boost might and restoration for yourself. So whether you're DPS or not, whether you're a healer, you will be boosting the group with this. And they also have a Carnage, which increases precision and critical strike chance for yourself and group members. But that's more of a DPS thing, so I'm not really going to get into that. But Hive Mind is amazing. You can boost your restoration by a lot and constantly. Pretty much whenever I can, I hit this thing all the time. You're giving yourself extra restoration, so great thing to use. So let's see. I also did not grab regeneration like an ass. So I end up having 2 skill points left over, and of course I can put them into whatever I wish. You guys can too if you do follow this loadout. Personally, I don't really need anything else, so I will be skipping that. So with my healer loadout here, what I like to do is I set up everything as follows. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm using and kind of how everything works. Now, when you have your bug form, you're going to have to set your loadout to the insectoid form. And the reason why I use the insect form is because it gives you a buff. Just like how sorcery healers get that gold aura around them, that's what insect form does for nature healing. Now the thing is, with a lot of people that I've seen play nature, they don't like the bug form. It's not the greatest. I could see why it sucks, because one, it takes away your super speed flight, and it's not something I kind of use. I don't use the revert form to transform back into a human on my insectoid loadout, so it could be a problem. You'll have to wait until you die, or you'll have to switch it out every time you want to go back and forth. But I think the good outweighs the bad, because only available to the healer role, as it says, transforms you into a flying insectoid form with increased healing capability, reduced damage output, new weapon combos, and powers of flight. Now, basically what it means is that you get to fly, whether you're acrobat or you're a super speedster, you will be flying with this form. And you will get the powers of hand blasters, and hand blasters is maybe not the best for a lot of healers. Like, some people don't like to use them, but think of it like this: when a weapon drops and it's a healer roll and it's brawling or something you don't like to use, you get to switch into the insect form and use hand blasters, so you never really have to worry about fighting over a weapon, because there's always weapons that some people don't like, such as two-handers, maybe like brawling or anything. So you can always basically kind of knead on it and kind of, you know, almost get guaranteed a weapon, and you'll always be in your insect form, so you don't have to worry about it. Another good thing is that it increases your healing capability, meaning that you will be able to get yourself critical heals and such. So you will be able to basically heal the group very well with your, you'll get more critical heals and such by being in your insect form. So though it sucks, it's definitely outweighed with the good that comes with it. So it's definitely good to be in it, whereas sorcery healers, in order to have that gold aura, they have to constantly use rejuvenate before they get that gold aura. So with bug form, you always have it active. It's always there. And then if you use a hive mind, it's even better, because you're raising your restoration. So again, this is another reason why I prefer nature healing, just for myself. You know, of course there are great sorcery and electric healers out there, but this is just kind of how I run everything. So what I'll do quickly is kind of show you what I kind of do when I'm healing with nature, and I'll kind of explain a little bit of what it does. Now, as you can see here in my first slot for my loadout, I have metabolism. Accelerates healing over time for yourself and your teammates, releases pheromones that promote healing over time. Now, this is the strength of nature healing, is that they release a lot of pheromones. What they do is they kind of throw out like pheromones that keep heals over time onto your allies. Savage growth releases pheromones. Cross-pollination creates a wave to heal yourself and all allies within range, growing in strength with every ally healed. So that means if there's pets out or anything like that and you use cross-pollination, it gets stronger every time you use it. Savage Growth summons an eruption of plant life to knock down nearby enemies, but it also releases pheromones to heal the group. Blossom restores health to the most injured group mate or yourself. Removes pheromone effects on allies for an equal amount of healing. Now, this is the best part of nature. What you do with nature is you need to stack all of your pheromones up. Now, just as you saw cross-pollination get stronger with every ally healed, what you'll kind of be doing is hitting this as often as you can, but you want to combine it with Savage Growth and Metabolism. And from what I've experienced with nature healing is that they stack quite a bit, and I believe it may be up to 8 times. I'm not really sure if it's 4 or 8 times or so. But again, they do stack. And the point is, what you'll be doing is you'll be hitting cross-pollination. And as you can see on my bar under my name, you'll see that heart symbol. That basically means I have a heal over time applied to my character. So what I do is I hit cross-pollination and I hit Savage Growth. And I do it twice. I do it both in that same order, back and forth. Cross-pollination, Savage Growth. And from there on, I'll have myself about up to 6 ticks or so of healing on my allies, which is great. And what I do is when the enemies start getting a little tougher or so, and everybody's getting hit just a little bit more, like close to half, I'll hit Metabolism, which is the first one. Because it is a slower move, but it does release pheromones. You could kind of spam that one a little more. And do those. But what your main focus is to stack your pheromones with those first 3. By doing so, you kind of get everything set up, because that's more of a setup. They're not really the best heals. You'll kind of be spamming Metabolism, which is very good to use. Metabolism and cross-pollination, but Savage Growth a lot, mostly just to have an extra tick, because it doesn't count that tick with cross-pollination. But your biggest focus is to save the group. When you need to save the group, what you end up using is Blossom. Blossom removes the pheromones, meaning that you've stacked up all those heals from kind of throwing these out on the smaller ads, but when something big kind of hits the group and you see everything starting to go south, you hit Blossom and everybody is instantly healed. And it's not an exaggeration. I really do kind of see like everyone gets saved as soon as I hit this. If I'm stacking these and I keep focus on these being out by not wasting power, but by focusing at certain intervals and keeping them up, you will be able to use Blossom and kind of save the group. So here's the problem though, if you do end up having another nature healer in the group, a lot of people don't like to run with 2 nature healers, because what ends up happening is that one nature healer likes to spam Blossom. So while you're trying to stack your pheromones out, one other person is wiping them away with this one move. You can fix that by giving them another move to do, or such as you could end up doing Bloom yourself, which is a long heal, which is like Invocation of Renewal. Well, you have to kind of stand there for a while and heal. I'll show you guys real quickly what it looks like. You kind of just stand here and you're waiting for it. It's a very good move to use if you want to use it, but I personally don't like anything with a cast time, because you can't really control what happens to the group. So you got to be careful with it and when to use it. Know when to use it. Make sure you step back when you're using it if you do use it. But it does release pheromones as well. So you could use these 4 if there is another nature healer who has more restoration than you. You could use these 4 alternatively to keep you from looking like the bad guy and not using using Blossom and wiping away his pheromones, or hers pheromones. So those are your 3 kind of like main ones that you're throwing out throughout the raid. You don't have to use cross-pollination if you're not in a raid, because it is more of a raid heal, but I prefer to use it all the time. It stacks more pheromones, so why not? And also, I've been able to heal alerts by just using these 2 right here, so definitely good to have, and pretty good. And again, Hive Mind right here, this is the best. This is your booster. This is what makes nature so awesome, is that you boost your restoration It may not be significant, you may not think it's significant, but it's enough to make a difference. This is what could help you kind of solo a raid very comfortably. As you'll see with Danzo here in my glitch screen. Wow, what was that? So as you can see, restoration is 1486. That's because I have not put my skill points into any restoration yet. So that is my base restoration with just my gear on. Broken gear, apparently. So as you can see, it's 1486. If I hit Hive Mind and I press start right now and go to my stats, 1756, which is pretty much 300 more restoration. That's amazing for just a buff that, you know, lasts for a while. And you pretty much pop it as much as you can. You use it as much as you can. Whenever you can, just make sure you always hit it before you hit any other heal, and you'll be doing really good with it. You'll be sitting pretty. With that and a trinket, I'd be ready to go. So definitely good to use. Definitely keep it. Or not. You could always use the other heal bloom instead of it if you don't like it. And then, of course, we have our supercharge, which is regenerate. It gives back health and power to the group. So that is a must-have as well, just to kind of throw out there whenever things are just going south. So that's pretty much it. That's kind of my loadout for nature, and I hope you guys kind of pick up on it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I was informative, and if, as always, leave a comment down below or a thumbs up, whatever you guys think, and whatever you guys think is better for you. So thanks for watching.